dreams, because we care about the dunya, it's all those whims and whatever. Look at this person, because he's full of the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that even when he's dreaming about sujood and praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, فَأَتَيْتُ بِآيَةِ سَجْدَةٍ فَسَجَدْتُ. I prostrated and I made sujood to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I heard a tree behind me make sujood. I heard the tree behind me make sujood. And he said, in the sujood of the tree, I heard the tree say, Allahumma khfir li biha khati'ah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and a lot of us say that dua, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, forgive one of my sins because of that sujood. Because of that prostration, I pray that Allah, you forgive one of my sins. وَاكْتُبْ لِي بِهَا أَجْرًا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, write a good deed and a blessing because I prostrated before you. And then at the end, what does the tree say? وَتَقَبَّلْهَا مِنِّي كَمَا تَقَبَّلْتَهَا مِنْ عَبْدِكَ Dawoud. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted from me the same way you have accepted the prostration of your servant David alayhi salam, Dawoud alayhi salam. Imagine the greatness. كُلٌّ قَدْ عَلِمَ صَلَاتَهُ وَتَسْبِيحَهُ. And the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam was so delighted by that story that he said, whenever you make sujood and tilawa, say that. قُلُوهَا فِي سُجُودِكُمْ. When you're reading the Quran and you come in a sujood, say it. SubhanAllah, even the trees, by the glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remember the greatness of Dawoud alayhi salam. And yet, he thinks that he's not grateful enough to Allah. Look at us, at our worship, and a few minutes here and a few minutes there, and alhamdulillah, we think this, but now look at the person who every single night is what? Is in qiyam 1/3 of the night. A person who is making the sujood, prostrating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only that, one of the Sahaba came to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, he came to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam and said, Prophet of Allah, Ya Rasulullah, Uridu as-sawm, I want to fast. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, don't fast every day. He wants to fast for the rest of his life every single day. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, no. Sum min kulli shahr, every month, fast 3 days. Why? Because a good deed is multiplied by 10 times, and if you fast 1 day or 3 days a month, it's like fasting 30 days. It's as if you fasted the entire year. Do you know what Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As said to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam? He said, Ya Rasulullah, Uridu an astamti'a bi shababi. Yani nowadays that statement has a completely what? Different meaning. He said, Prophet of Allah, I want to enjoy my youth. Nowadays when we say I want to enjoy my youth, it means, man, when I grow up, I'll worry about God. Right now, let me just live life, enjoy life, like they say, yeah? But Abdullah ibn Amr, he understood the importance of being grateful to Allah. He said, Ya Rasulullah, Uridu an astamti'a bi shababi. I want to enjoy my youthfulness in the glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the worship of my Lord. Because later on, the Prophet ﷺ said, اغتنموا سبعا قبل سبع. In one hadith he says what? Enjoy 7 before another 7. They said, what, Prophet of Allah? He said, enjoy your health before you get sick. Enjoy your youthfulness before you get old. And he goes and mentions them. Enjoy your time of freeness and do something good with it before you get busy. Because the day will come when we're sick, the day will come when we're old, the day will come when we're sick, and we don't have the time when we're busy. Use that to glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ said, Abdullah ibn Amr, if you can fast more than 3 days, then in each week fast Mondays and Thursdays. You know what he said? He said, Ya Rasulullah, I want more than that. So finally the Prophet ﷺ said, أفضل الصيام صيام من? Dawoud. The best fast ever is the fast of who? Dawoud alayhi salam. كان يصوم يوما ويفطر يوما. Dawoud alayhi salam wanted to be so grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that all of his life, one day he's fasting, the other day he breaks his fast, the next day he's fasting his entire life. Some of us can't wait until Ramadan is over. The first day of Ramadan started, we're saying, man, 28, 29 more days of this. And we can't wait until, if one country, whether it's Libya or Saudi Arabia, whatever, Ramadan is tomorrow, Ramadan, Eid Mubarak. And yet this man, subhanAllah, Dawoud alayhi salam, look at the greatness. Because later on we're going to talk about the kingdom and the ni'mah of Allah. That ni'mah doesn't just come like that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes a promise, my brothers and sisters. وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ. If you're grateful for my ni'mah, I will increase you. I will bless you. That's the verse in the Quran, a promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You want more from Allah? Be grateful for His blessings upon you. And that is the attitude that Dawoud alayhi salam had, was always being grateful, always in the service of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him and blessed him and blessed him a most beautiful life ever. أفضل الصيام صيام داود أفضل القيام قيام داود السجدة تقبلها مني كما تقبلتها من عبدك داود. Even the recitation وآتينا داود زبورا. The Prophet ﷺ said that when Dawoud ﷺ would recite, and in the hadith he calls it the Quran. He does not call it the Zabur, he calls it the Quran. When he recited the Quran, because it's a word and the source of it is the same as the source of the Quran, which is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Quran is not a written book, but it is a book to be read. And that's why it's come from the word what? Qira'ah. Qira'ah, Quran. It's not something that is just written in the books for us to shelf, but it's something for us to read and live by. And that is why the Prophet ﷺ describes the recitation of a Zabur, that when Dawoud ﷺ would read it, his recitation was so beautiful that even the mountains will echo the recitation back with him. Even the birds will stop and recite with him. You want proof to that? يقول الله تعالى في القرآن يا جبال أوبي معه والطير. Allah says in the Quran that his recitation was so beautiful and so powerful that even the birds would echo it back with him. Even the mountains would echo it back with him. That is how glorified he was and so sincere in his recitation that he was. That direct connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is something that a lot of us miss in today's life. We get so involved in materialistic life and money and work and jobs and this and that, we lose that contact with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't feel that closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is why it's important for us to have that grateful attitude and remember Dawoud alayhi salam. In a very beautiful example, one day the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam was in the masjid, and he asked the Sahaba a very interesting question. He said to the Sahaba, has any of you seen the fruits of Jannah? I'm asking you now, brothers. Did any of you see the fruits of Jannah, of heavens? No. And of course the Sahaba said no. A little boy by the name of Abdullah ibn Umar ibn al-Khattab, Abdullah the son of Umar ibn al-Khattab, he raised his hand. He was a little boy, 7, 8 years old. Na'am ya Rasulullah, Prophet of Allah, I've seen the fruits of Jannah. All the Sahaba, they looked at Abdullah like he's a little crazy kid, but he's 7, 8 years old, he's a kid, no problem, okay, whatever. And then the Prophet ﷺ says, Man minkum ta'im, who from amongst you has tasted the fruits of Jannah? Not only seen it, but tasted it. Of course, the Sahaba said, no, we haven't, may Allah promise us that we enter heavens and so on and so forth. And the little boy, Abdullah ibn Umar ibn al-Khattab, he raised his hand, Na'am ya Rasulullah, yes, Prophet of Allah, I have seen them and I have tasted them. Now all the Sahaba did not look at the boy, they looked at his father, Umar ibn al-Khattab, like, your kid is crazy, man. Tell your kid to, he's embarrassing us, man. What do you mean? What happened to your kid? The Prophet ﷺ was so excited and so proud of this little boy, he looked at Abdullah and said, Abdullah, what do you mean? It's as if only the only person that understood it was Abdullah ibn Umar. So the Prophet ﷺ said, Abdullah, explain to them what you mean. Abdullah said, Ya Rasulullah, حين وصف القرآن, when the Quran described heavens and it described the fruits of heavens of the Jannah, it's as if I've seen them with my own eyes. And when it describes, imagine how attached he is to the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only does he think that Jannah is somewhere out there, he reads those verses and he feels it. He's saying, Prophet of Allah, when the Quran describes the fruits of Jannah, it's as if I'm there looking at them. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the taste of it, it's as if I'm tasting it. Do we have that iman and faith of Jannah and believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah says, وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِهِ الشَّكُورِ, the worship of Dawoud alayhi salam. But then Allah